Hello everybody, welcome to Red Toolhouse. Today I'm going to get the tractor out. We're going to do some earthworks. We've got some things I got to get straightened up. I need to make a parking space for my red trailer because my youngest son Cam now has a car and my trailer is in the way of his parking spot. So I'm going to do that, do a couple other things using the box blade. Really like that attachment, but I'm actually going to use a new attachment that I have never used before. Actually been quite skeptical of these things. In the 20 plus years of running a tractor, never used one. And a company by the name of Landtop sent me this one. I asked them to send me this. So I'm going to get the tractor out. We'll get it hooked up. And you guys can go ahead and start commenting because we'll see if this is worthwhile or not. Ow. Okay, so the new attachment is a quick detach attachment. So it's to help the 3-point hitch it helps the 3-point hitch attachment process be more streamlined. So we're going to just see if that is true. As you can see, I have yet to use this thing. Still taking it out of the packaging. So far impressed with the build of it. It's very thick steel, plate steel. It's like a 1/4 inch, maybe even 3/8 in some areas. So it looks like the first thing we need to do is reverse the center link hook, as it was put in backwards for shipping, I bet. And I guarantee you that that's metric. So it has variable height adjustment here. I measured my box blade. It's about a 15-inch span, but there's one thing I have to check. This may be a deal breaker straight out of the gate. Let's go around and see if this is going to even fit up within the box blade's center link attachment. So the way this box blade is made, it has a center link pin here, and we're not going to be able to catch it at this point because we're just not going to be able to get under it with this other center point attachment here. So if this goes up in there like so, then we're cooking with gas. Yeah, and I think what it needs is it's a little bent. The blade's beat all to pieces, so I think it'll actually lock up in there. May never come out, but we'll be able to lock it up in there. Okay, so maybe issue number 1 is not an issue. Drop it like it's hot or lukewarm. So the attachment came with these pins. And number 2. Helps if you back it up straight. Just a bit outside. So I guess quick attachments are only as good as their implement. So this box blade is 20 years old. And as you guys know, I skid logs with it. I do all kinds of things. And you can kind of tell the rough wear that it gets. Look at the threads on that. That's the through bolt here for the yoke. Threads are pretty much gone except for one spot. And then here's the bushing. It's not supposed to be flared like that, but it is. So what I did is I took the bushing that came with the quick attach and put that in there so it spread it out more so I can get my center link in there. Problem is I don't have a bolt that long of that size, so I've got a smaller bolt, which is not ideal. We'll pick up a replacement one next time we go into town because I got work to do, and this should get me at least through the day. Famous last words, right? So I believe this is going to suffice. And I had to take my, you can see I turned my ground ripping teeth upside down when I'm not using them. And over the years, I guess I've just beat this thing down enough that those teeth will not, I guess I can go that way. All right, so I can put my teeth back in, it looks like. Put your teeth back in, boy. Just got to stick them up higher, I bet. That's what it is, yes. Got to have buck teeth in the middle, I guess. And don't want to be missing a front tooth. Everybody would make fun of me. All right, now let's try to link up and see what we get. Oh, you crackhead. You guys were watching me do that too, weren't you? You didn't say a daggone word. Tell you, I can't rely on you people for nothing. All right, we're still having issues with the alignment here. Don't have any paint left on that thing. I think what we'll have to do is get it to fit on the bottom pins and then just see where I need to place this center hook. All right, so she's lined up at least. Let's see if I can. I realized I had my lower arms not level. They weren't level at all, and that was throwing everything out of whack here. But let's see if this will even line up the way we need it to now. I believe it will. All right, so still finding an issue here. First thing I discovered is that flat ground is ideal. Having the box blade tipped back more allows me to get under it. So when I drop it, I need to have some shims underneath the front to kind of keep this is going downhill, need to keep this back further. The other thing is these support bars have these tabs that are sticking out just because it's square channel or square stock, flat stock. So I'm going to try to cut those off, grind those off, and see if removing that keeps from impeding. It's not going to affect the integrity of the box blade. It's just going to get these little tabs out. Comment below, guys, if you've used these quick attaches, and if you had to do any mods like this, if there's tricks that you've learned to be able to use it as a convenience accessory versus fighting with it all the time. Okay, so with some modifications, we were able to get it to work. And so this is one of those things that maybe it's why I never messed with one, because I always had less than stellar attachments. The fact that this attaches here with a bolt and the actual center link's supposed to be up here is why we're running into our first issue. So this hook should be higher up. I had to put it down even lower so it only has one bolt. This bolt up here is just obviously the extra one. So it's not as tight and secure as I'd like it to be. That's a concern. And if I welded this, if this box blade, instead of bolting here, was welded and you didn't have the center pin to hold these swing arms and the yoke together, and you just had the pin, then it would be fine. So that's something for me to even consider. Should I weld or should I not? It's a modification. That's a very permanent modification. I'm going to go do my Earthworks and just see how it does, and then I'm going to pull in and see about hooking it up to my chipper, because those are the two that I use the most off and on, back and forth, back and forth. So that's where this would really come in handy. So that's what we need to see is, I've got it to work for the box blade, but how many mods do I have to do to be able to get it on the chipper? If I have to do any modification between them, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose. So let's go move some dirt, see what happens. So this spot here, I've had logs piled up to burn. This used to be, the previous owners had pigs here. This was like a pig sty. That's why it has this flat area. But you can see how close it is to the sawmill. The gravel road ends where the tractor is, and this road stays pretty solid. So even if I need to get down here with my truck, I've got no problems with that, even in the dead of winter. So I think what we'll do is get these logs out of the way, try to maybe push them up there, eventually get them either burned up or, my goodness, I figure when I stick my blade in them, they're just going to fall apart. Get this cleaned up here, a little bit of autumn olive I want to grub out with the bucket, and I'll be able to park my red trailer right where you guys are standing, be able to back it right in. All right, I think this is going to work. I put that box blade under some strain, and so on that quick attach, it does have a little bit of play in it, which, as worn out as my box blade is, it could be that as well. But I stuck it in this sycamore root that I uncovered, and imagine where the sycamore tree is, all the way over there. So anyway, yeah, so got it in that bind. Put a lot of flex on it, same I'd normally have in a really tight bind. Did okay. It pops and cracks a little bit. So I'm going to go get my red trailer now and try to utilize the benefit of that quick attach, because it also has a receiver opportunity, so I can put my 2-inch ball and be able to go up there and pick up the trailer and bring it down without having to either get the side-by-side or get my truck. So we'll see how that works. What's up, Fuzz? All right, I think that was a pretty good test of my patience. No, of the equipment. I really like that. Went super slick hooking up the chipper. Not a problem at all. The issue I have, of course, is that center piece, that center hook with the box blade. And I'm going to modify that. So let me show you what I'm thinking. I want you guys to comment below. So you can see here, the existing center pin is here. And it needs to be up here. And I thought maybe I could just weld, which would be an option, just weld these together. But after thinking about it, I think what I'm going to do is just get some carriage bolts, small carriage bolts that I've got a nice flush pan head on this side, maybe a lock washer and a nut on this side, and just bolt this together, and then a separate one, bolt that one together. And that will allow me to move my center pin up here at the top. So what we're going to do, I'm going to set this aside right now. I've got some hardware. Instead of welding these angle supports to our main yoke, I bought some hardware, some carriage bolts, and I think I can run a carriage bolt in there, dog that down, and of course still have enough clearance with the head of the carriage bolt being smooth that I can get the quick attach to come up and then move the actual hook attachment point up where it's supposed to be. But if it becomes an obstruction, we can obviously cut it off at some point. Split washer, so we can have that resistance that it doesn't come loose. These are stainless steel nuts and bolts and all that good stuff. So. Split washer. Just love early summer after a thunderstorm, because every time you wear glasses out in something like this, they fog up. I've worn glasses since 3rd grade. I've had to deal with that foolishness. I live in a dream state 4 months out of the year. I did, however, neglect to get a proper size bolt for the top, but we'll continue to use this and see how she performs. Yeah, see, that's not spreading that out far enough. Need more of a spread, Fred. All right. It's a big dose of Southern engineering right here. All right, let's see. We got to go here. We got to go here. Okay, so I've got that spread wide open, but I need to get, this isn't going to keep that open, so I think I'm going to take a piece of 1/2-inch conduit, if that's going to be big enough around. Let's see. That's no good. Need 3/4-inch conduit, but don't think I have that. I have consulted the junk pile, and I have been found worthy. Try to tell Kelly this is why we don't throw anything away. Ever. Get to tape measure. 3 1/4. Let's go to the cutter. Of course. it's not long enough. Just keep going smaller and smaller in hardware here, but this will be a temporary fix until I can get to the box store and try to get the proper size bolt. I think this is going to work in the meantime. My mic battery died, so that's why I sound different.
Somebody got it figured out.
All right, so off camera, I raised that hook up so I could get both bolts in, so it's on its lowest setting, and I was able to get both bolts so it doesn't twist. And it could even come up some more. I could probably go up another one or two, but that worked fine on the chipper as well. And those are my two most utilized implements. So I'm really, really happy with this. Now that I've had to do some mods to my old beat up box blade, I'll definitely have to upgrade that bolt, because that ain't gonna last long, especially with box scraping. But I'll get a much heavier grade bolt, proper size, and be able to really lock that down in. And I really like this. Just a simple fact, it was super fast to be able to load the chipper and offload the chipper. I unloaded the chipper in like 3 seconds. Pulled the drive shaft out, plopped the levers up, got on the tractor, dropped a 3-point hitch, and drove right out from under it. I like that a lot. So I'm really not sure why I didn't look into these sooner. You know, to be running a tractor for almost 20 years and never messed around with them, I don't know. I know with my auger, it's not going to work for the auger, because the auger actually attaches to the back of the tractor. You have to actually take the center link out. So that will work for that. My brush hog, I'll probably have to do the same modifications. It's actually broken right now. The rotary portion's broken. I lost a blade, so I've got to repair it. But I think probably have the same yoke issues here, because I think it's the same manufacturer. So I'll just do the same modifications there, and that should be able to work as well. Well, I really appreciate Landtop sending me this. Really like how it's constructed. Very heavy duty steel. All the parts seem to be just done well. The paint, I'm beating the paint off of it in some places. Just is what it is. I don't have paint on much of anything when it comes to implements. But I'm going to post a link down below to their website. Like I said, they're a newer tractor implement company, and they seem to be adding new implements on a regular basis, so check that out. I'm really eyeballing their quick attach conversion kit for the front of the tractor. That's going to be a huge task, because I have to actually I have to go to a fabricator and actually have him make new tabs for me, because my bucket, I don't want to make my bucket obsolete. Well, I appreciate everybody watching. I pray you all have a great week. Take care.